respond.
What nikueleze hivi. Let me tell you something.
Okay, nieleze.
When the Lord, I mean, una fix why the dollar is cheap, and even Kenyatta took the money out, and we know where it is. I mean, and now you are finishing with the women going to Saudi Arabia. No, if the president was going to explain where the money was, it was that time. Who was the one that really brought us the Euro bond? Who said how the Euro bond was never got to Kenya? Was Raila Odinga. When Kenyatta said that the president of Chile was impeached because of where they kept the money with Kenyatta, and all the oligarchies in Russia are the people who keep the money there. This is the money stolen from Kenya, and like I explained to you, the only person who could have challenged him with that money was Raila Odinga. And what did Kenyatta do? He came to Kenya, and he put him in his pocket, and you never even had the idea of the money. Raila never even went to that money because he had part of that money in his pocket. And why does the Ruto follow that money right now? Ruto's job is to balance the economy. Vile Dungu explained to you last time, they found out that they were spending so much billions to pop up the shilling against the dollar. This is a simple explanation. Mukiangalia, mukiacha ODM dakika moja muangalia hii ingine vile wanasema. When they took out that money for popping up the shilling, that when the dollar went up. And on and on and on the story goes. Lakini, the biggest thief in Kenya, Leo, is ex-president Kenyatta, from his dad to the land that they have in Taita. How do they go live? I mean, how did the Kenyatta leave Gatundu to have 1,000 something land in the Taita Tafet? Live the fire everywhere. If we have to speak the truth, Jakes, let us speak the truth as it is. Let us not argue from the argument, the party's language. The party language now tells you this and that, but we know the truth is the truth. Kenyatta and his family have money that they took from Kenya and put it in the islands, and it's a dirty money. Back in the day when we were young, they used to sell that money to Switzerland, but now Switzerland has changed the law so much. They have had the money in the islands and everywhere, places like that. A minute ago, the president of Chile was fired because of that. Ya Kenya alikuambia, even you know, he said he will explain this money as soon as he get to Kenya. Has he ever explained? No. So these people who are the thieves, they should be called out to be thieves. And now, when the best friend, the chief Barara, best friend Ruto, he's the one who made him a minister in 2007. But chief Barara made Ruto a minister. If these people can face the reality and the music of corruption, let them do it. And that's the only way, Leo, that's the only way bottom-up can work. If you have the corruption that is so high, this bottom-up economics will not work.
Mr. Penn, maybe I would have responded to you, but the good thing is that internet never forgets. I just wanted to give you a 2-minute response on what you've said. You've even taken us back to Eurobond, and we know the people who really defended Eurobond. If you take us back to the railway, we know the people who defended the railway, despite the fact that the cost was hyped. And let me just play for you this. Then after that, maybe I'll see if you still hold your opinion.
Okay. To the Cabinet Secretary.
Discourse on the impeachment of Cabinet Secretary Nyagaka over the transfer of Kiplume Rugut as the director of the National Youth Service reached fever pitch in the course of the week.
Top 2! Karibu!
Deputy President William Ruto was in Kericho today, where he broke his silence over the matter. Ruto, accompanied by leaders drawn from the Jubilee coalition, said the friction generated by the transfer of Rugut from NYS was unnecessary, as was the bashing of the Cabinet Secretary for devolution.
Na makelele hii watu wawache makelele. Kazi ya kuajiri wafanyikazi wa serikali kutransfer, kufanya nani atafanya kazi wapi. Ni kazi ya public service na rais na mimi. Kama iko maneno hiyo mtuulize sisi. Wacha kwenda kukombanisha watu wengine wadogo huko chini. Sisi ndio tunajua hiyo maneno.
Members of Parliament drawn from the Jubilee coalition led by Nandi MP Alfred Keter had called on the Jubilee luminaries to put the House in order by supporting the impeachment of Waiguru.
Mimi kama mbunge, kazi yetu ni kuangalia maslahi ya wananchi. Na wakati tunaona kuna shida, lazima tuseme. We are at the moment trying to work on cohesion so that we accommodate all Kenyans.
However, Ruto would hear none of this, saying that the government will not be influenced by empty rhetoric.
Nimeona kuna watu wengine wanaleta ukora katika Jubilee ati kwa sababu sijui rafiki yangu Ruguti alipigwa transfer. Alafu wanaanza kusema hii ni kuonyesha kwamba Jubilee government imeanguka. Jubilee government haifanyi kazi. Sijui nani amefanya nini.
And we are telling him, we will expose you. Sisi bunge tuko imara.
Watu wengine ni wako na sura ya viongozi lakini ni mabroka. Walitusumbua wakati ya railway. Wakatupigia makelele siku ya reli. Wakati wamenunuliwa na mabroka wengine. Na mtu asiseme anaongea kwa niaba yangu. Mimi hakuna mtu nimetuma aende aongee kwa niaba yangu. Mimi ninaweza kujizungumzia mwenyewe. Kwani nimejizungumzia wakati hii yote sasa ndio nimeanza kushindwa kuzungumza mambo yangu.
Now, Ruto was in the backyard of Kericho Governor Paul Chepkwony, against whom an impeachment motion has been passed by the county assembly. The deputy president called for sobriety in handling devolution matters and urged the political class, especially CORD, to avoid making everything a hot-button issue and focus on development.
Wengine wanaongea mambo ya siasa, wanataka kufanya rally, wanataka kufanya sijui nini. Waendelee na rally. Sisi tutaendelea na kufanya kazi ya wananchi.
Several members of parliament from the Jubilee coalition have lately backtracked from the move to impeach Waiguru. Meanwhile, Chepkwony's fate is now with the 11-member committee that begins sittings next Tuesday. Willis Raburu.
The Eurobond is I think matured in this December, and from next year, January, we are going to be paying Eurobond, Mr. Penn. I think that's a discussion we cannot have now. Karibu sana, our moderator is back, and you can proceed with the moderation. Kenya Rebel, I like the silence, so just keep silent.
And I told you I had a gift for you, Leo. I had a gift for you today. You and Alex, but you're not here. So